Good morning, all. Got a host of things to discuss today. I want to go through some of the YouTube comments as some of the questions for this week. Also, a few teams there, 3 or 4, and also some head-to-head strategy and a little bit on looping. It's going to be harder this week with everyone out, but just the advanced looping style that people are asking about and where you should be placing certain guys on normal weeks, especially. So let's firstly look at some head-to-head strategy, and what we're looking at here is trying to count the number of keepers that you have in your side. So that's the first thing you need to do. If you're a head-to-head player, do that there. So we got the people squad here. We've got, on our interchange, plenty of keepers in Cook, Grant, Harris, Walsh, Moses, Johnson, Lem, and DeBellin. All of them keepers. There's 8 of them there. Buller, you could say, is fairly close to a keeper, but you'd say Garrick and Drinkwater are as well. So let's just say we have 10, maybe 11. Same thing, 11 will go, or 12 with Manu there. Ponga should be a keeper. 13. Bateman and Preston, you could say, Preston's probably borderline keeper. Bateman definitely is there. 15, you've got Haas for 16, Hopgood for 17. So in a pretty good position there. Obviously, a couple of these guys are the borderline guys. You haven't got the top of the top in a few of the positions. For example, we're missing out on Nico Hines. We don't have a Cleary at this point, but all the guys that we have are pretty good, solid scorers. So with your head-to-head strategy for now, you don't want to be burning trades in this week here. What you want to be doing is really looking after them and only making a trade if it is bringing in a keeper or it is bringing in a maybe 1 or 2 cash cows left. I'd say, like, if you're looking to bring in a Jake Turpin this week, if you're looking to bring in a Simpkin, those 2 guys could make a decent amount of cash. And if you're sitting there, hopefully, with sort of that 8 to 12 trades as a head-to-head guy, then you make that trade and you make that little bit extra cash. You get some good point scoring, and he helps you in both of those ways. But if the trades you're looking at aren't helping you in any of those ways, if they're just getting you a number on the park this week, if you're buying one of those mid-tier guys like a Nelson, a Sofa Solomona, these types of guys, I don't really like it. It's a very high risk play, and the reason people are doing Nelson is that he's a little bit undervalued, so he could make a little bit, but really it's for scorers over the next 2 weeks. And as a head-to-head player, that's not something that's in your focus range. So that's the biggest thing with head-to-head is just saving some trades, man. Like, we have some stupid 13 rounds left, and most people have plus the 8 that we're going to get at the beginning of round 20 or after round 19, however you want to look at it. Sitting there with sort of 12 to 14 trades, 1 a week, and as a head-to-head player, coming to those finals near the end, a bunch of teams have buys as well. Like Cowboys have a buy near the end. You've got the Bunnies and also the Eels in those last few weeks. So they're the weeks you probably have multiple players from those type of teams, and you will look to or need to trade in those weeks. So that's probably the biggest thing on that one. And this is someone on some advanced looping, and this will be for next week. There's 2 things you need to look at. And the first one of that is dual position guys. So if you have 3 centers, for example, and one of them there is a Connolly Lemuelu, and you're sitting there with only the 2 edges. Let's say you have Bateman and Preston, pretending, guys, that pretty much all of the players are available this week. Let's say it's round 17 right now. You have 3 centers available: Manu, Billy Smith, and Lemuelu. You have to play Billy Smith because you only have 17 players available. You have 18 players available, and the last one's like, I don't know, someone's going to score 10 points, let's say. Sandon Smith when he's playing off the bench, because everyone loves Sandon, obviously. Anywho, Lemuelu, best decision for him is to pop him on the emergencies, because if your edge goes out, like what happened last week with Zach Hosking, if he goes out, then you actually have someone that can come in off the interchange or the emergencies and cover Zach Hosking. If you've had Lemuelu playing already in the centers, then he can't move from the center to the edge position. So that's the biggest one as a starter, is just having your dual position guys on the emergency if you can. The one I like to follow, which is a little bit more of the common one, is just making sure that you have guys that play early on in the week in your starting 13. Because, as I said, you can't move guys around once they're in that starting 13. It is very, very difficult. Obviously, once they lock, you can't move anything around. What you can do, if you have someone in interchange 4, you can move other guys around him to go above, to go below, and if something happens, that's some flexibility that you have. Whereas I see a lot of people, they have their slightly, they do it from just best scorer, or who they think the best average guy, so they make sure they have Haas, they have Cary Grant in the starter rather than Turpin, even though Turpin would play, just say Turpin plays the first game of the week, having Cary Grant in the starting side and Turpin on the interchange. They don't have all of their interchanges used after the first 3 games or something, and there's 8 games in the week, and then you have no flexibility from there. If something happens in your starting side, you can't then move someone from your interchange to here. So if you're going to play someone in your 17 and they play earlier in the week, get them in your starting 13 and lock them in, because you don't want to have guys locked in on your interchange. The more flexibility you can have there, the better it is. What happens if you do want to make a trade? If something happens and or scores, someone performs badly, or you want to move someone around, you're like, oh, okay, there's an injury in this game, and that affects a guy I want to bring in next week. You can then make that decision. And obviously the last one is don't make trades until you have to make trades, because the amount of people that they're getting locked in on their trades when their player plays in round 2 and they've made their trades prior to round 1 where they don't have to, is a mistake as well. So they're the 3 things I just wanted to speak about with that. The people squad, just thinking about that, looking at a pretty good position with 17 keepers there. So good work, guys. And we're not sitting, I don't think we're anywhere near 14 mil. So that was cool. Let's just go through this team while it's here, because it sent me a PDF or something like that. Something close to it. 603 rank. First time this person has sent this in, which is very cool. Absolutely love the content, mate. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. How many should I be looking to field? Field 12 equals 2 trades. Look how this is moving around. Field 13 equals 3 trades. Currently, with your 7 available, if you use 3, you'd be down to 4. I think 2 is the best decision on this one. 12 is going to be really, really solid. And looking at your squad, you've got Nico Hines in there, which is a big tick. Obviously missing out on a wing fullback currently, a centre, and a mid. Not too bad. What do you think of these trades? Tall Harris to Nelson, no. Teddy to Ponga or Dill Edwards, ugh, not great. Teddy and Toe the best trade outs for me, no. Someone like Damien Cook could be the better trade out, just for the fact that he misses a lot of games. He misses 16. If he plays Origin, miss 19 and 20. Whereas guys like Tohu Harris, he has no more buys in this buy period. He has one in 21, but doesn't have any in these really tough weeks. So Warriors guys, they're fine up post this week. So Tohu Harris to Nelson is a big downgrade, unfortunately. Teddy to Ponga, a little bit sideways, to be honest with you. Teddy's likely going to back up, and he's been scoring really, really well. So I can see Teddy as a hold this week, because round 17, he should be pretty important, and round 18 as well. So I'd be looking more towards Damien Cook. Something interesting in the people score, we're actually looking to trade out Nicarima. He has been great, and they don't have a buy until I believe round 22 as well. But Nicarima is one of those guys, he's not a keeper, and he's done his job. So I'd rather you trade Nicarima out than trade out Teddy or Tohu Harris, who are those keepers that we were just talking about. So that's the play or the position I would take in this team, just to make 2 trades there. Do I want to make a 3rd and bring in a centre if so Gagai? I don't really want to trade anyone else out though. Yeah, you're pretty set with your players you got in there. It's pretty hard to even make the 2, but I think those 2 would be fine, Nicarima and Cook, rather than going for Tohu and Teddy. Teddy would be fine if you do want to trade him out. I'm also 100% okay with that, but I'm happy for you to keep him as well. So up to you if you want to do Teddy and Cook, Teddy and Nicarima. However that works for you, because you got the salary remaining there. And you don't really want to be mucking around with centres too much. Lemuelu and Manu are going to do a good job from here. So let's go to our comments now while we're here. Guys, just remember, this is where to send in your team. There's one of the questions in the YouTube comments in team analysis here on the Discord. You've also got questions for Jamie. I'll check them every week. A lot of time there hasn't been many questions in this. If you do want to ask me a question to get on the channel for the most part, then it's going to be on here as well. I'm going to go live tonight, guys, on the YouTube channel for the first time in a while. Can't doing them sort of monthly at the moment, every 4 or 5 weeks. So I'll pop the thumbnail up, and I'll schedule it so it'll say the time on there. Likely to be around that 6:45 Sydney time, 8:45 in New Zealand. I can't believe that they make that game 10 p.m. New Zealand time. So you guys are amazing for checking them out always. Would you trade Katoa to Patolo to make up 17, or keep Katoa and play with 16? Pete, you mean 13 and 12? If you do, then that's fine. Yeah, 13. It would be fine, but then you're missing out on a player next week. So, does Katoa help you next week? You're trading off a score next week for a score this week. So you're evening it out. So it doesn't really matter. Hope everyone looks at these. Hey, mate, Eli Katoa to IPAP or Nikora. Either way, man. Flip the coin on that one, whichever one you prefer to watch, I think. Nikora, I think, could go bigger this week than IPAP. especially with the squad that the Tigers are throwing out with no Appy, no Luke Brooks. I think that hurts IPAP a little bit. Is Little the best round 19 hooker if you want to keep Grant? I have Turpin and Robson as well, possibly trading Robson, but unsure, as he missed three of 5 through Origin. Yeah, well, he's already missed 15, so that you can scratch that one. So it's 2 to go. Yeah, I think you've got, if you have Little already, then that's sweet. I would not be holding Turpin, Robson, and Grant. I'll be moving Robson on for sure first. Is it too late for Turpin this week or never? Completely agree on that one. He has 3 good weeks to go, I'd say. Bronson Garlic, should he get 60 minutes with Grant out? Decent PPM. Yeah, he's going to score this week, and that's the only appeal. I think you're kind of hoping for a Grant injury, unfortunately. Okay, slaps. Oh, what do we got? Matto. Yeah, I absolutely think Cardi or Gutho go to 6, and Simonson goes to 1. I don't think Gutho goes to 6, to be honest with you. He's been playing too well at 1. Where can I send my team? I just mentioned that. How gross are the mid so bad this week? Sure is. Thank you, T-Banger, the legendary man that I have not met yet, that always comments on my posts and has a love heart. So thank you very much. Where will Bateman go? When will Bateman get the mid-edge duel? After round 19. So thank you, Sean, for answering that. And he would have to continue to getting named in the mid, and he will get that for sure. Do you think Mose will back up 17? I think he will. The Eels need him. They have no half. So if Dylan Brown was there, maybe he'd hold on hold off and not play. But they need him in this one for sure. And if he comes to run unscathed, then great. If he doesn't, then he won't play. I have Bateman, Hosking, Lero, Preston out of the 4 edges. Which one? 4 edges. Oh, that's sad. Well, clearly you're moving on. I think Lero at this point. Yeah. Lero to Nelson, get a mid, and Crossland to Ponga. I think Lero, man. Yeah, good choice on that one. I like Nelson should play bigger minutes with Katoa and Welch out and could move to the edge to give Sims a break in the last 20. I completely agree with that. He's definitely should be scoring well this week or the next couple. But yeah. Joe, just the break-even stuff is a hard one with Joe at the moment. He's not a keeper. Nat just got 64, should be a keeper. Yeah, but what about the 30 on the 45 before that? The people that picked him up last week were very lucky because he went low, and then he just managed to play 80 minutes. Yeah. Jake Sifton as cash cow. We've got all that information on him. No trades for me for this week. Have 4 in hand. Running Hopgood, Sorensen, Fainu. In the middle of this round, we'll be monitoring Madison to pick up. Yeah, nice work if you've got that. So yeah, just look at your trades, guys, as well. You want to be anything from 6 and below is going to be pretty low. So you're coming into this week, and if you've made trades from there, you're getting very low. And I wouldn't be making any luxury trades. I'd be trying to bring in keepers and only that 1 or 2 cash cows that are available. DPP, he'll have to play multiple games in a row at centre to get that, I believe, Brett. Running Granville per second on my mids, 8 trades left, but not sure whether to use 1 to get 1 more mid, and run 13 this round, may just stick to 12. If there's nothing clearly popping out, trust the process, then trust the process. Is Isaiah Katoa trade for Semi Valamate a good no? Don't rate Semi, just he won't score 3 tries every week, that's for sure. Billy Smith to Ponga, he's playing this week, so up to you, Micah. Thank you for helping with that, Mr. Tobby. Yeah, you can decide what you want with that one, but I think it's good, but I think you can do it another way potentially, unless if that makes you get if you're still already on 12 and that keeps you at 12 or something like that, then that's fine. Going with Matto, may not score well at 5'8", but only a few trades left. He's a keeper. For me, it was Matto or play with 12. Play with 12 is fine too, but yeah, he's definitely could come out and score great for sure. I'm not discounting that. I'm not really putting. I'm going to put a little bit on his previous 5'8 stuff, but it was a long time ago. I think he'll be able to score pretty well. He'll need to do a lot for this side and just hope he gets through on his calf. Last week for the Cardi party with Matto back and Sean Lane close. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say he'll go back to the bench, play that 40-50 minutes. I'm an R in between Simkin and Brandon Hans for Chibi to make some quick cash. Head-to-head player. Head-to-head player, I think Simkin is the play. He misses next week. It's not a big issue for you. I think he'll make more money than Hands. He plays 80 minutes and get 35 points. Not very good. Totola Taponga, all good. Already have mid-set and no wing fullback on bench. On bench? You don't really need a bench guy, so up to you. Welcome back, Scooby-Doo. Scoop's not worth it. Too many 17 players with Hines in. Yeah, he's trying to bring in Hines. My thoughts on bringing Hines if you already have 5 out in round 17. That's what I mean. Just have a look at that one. If you have heaps of trades left, then you can do it because you can make a trade or 2 next week. But look to avoid if you can. Longclaw went from an office worker to, and I want the most expensive table in the club real quick. Looking fresh, mate. Everyone's giving him some love about the haircut, so Good stuff. Had Granville since round 9. He's now DPP. I can move into the trouble middle spot. It's ridiculous. Well done on that one. Patola, I think his job security is fine. All right. Scoop, terrible advice in my opinion. Yeah, I give that heart. He gives good advice. What are you doing? I have 7 trades and Moses out. I have 12 playing at the moment. Don't have Hines. Now, if I want to get Hines this week for Moses, I'll have to make another trade to get the upgrade. If I was to do the trade, I would have to find 89k. And we'll have 5 plays out next week. So the question is, would you do the 2 trades with Preston, Clemmer, Raymond, or Bullard to be one of the second trade? No. Yeah, just no. That's all. All right, that'll do for the commenters. And then lastly, I've got to get up the... which I forgot, the teams. Analyzing teams. We've got a couple in there. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it. All right. Wasn't organised. Sorry, guys. All right. How good is this? Brownie. Brownie69 got me last name in there. Actually, just wanted to shout out as well. There's a guy in the top 100. I think he's a little bit ahead of me, maybe in the 60s. It's called Jamie Brown Lover. Jamie Brown Follower? Might be that. But we're gunning for them to win the comp. I'll if I remember, I'll get it up in the trades video, and I'll find him. But that'll be cool. Yeah, go the Jamie Brown follower. If that is you, reach out. Love to follow the journey. Thanks for having me in your name. Potential trade options for this one. Good rank last week. 6,500 overall. Ford, Talau, Teague, Lemuelu, Lukey. Fair. All right, so. Yeah, okay, you got 3 edges. That hurts. Ponga, Turpin, Simpkin, Penasini, the target's trying to find the best combo for trades, but I can't seem to decide on anything. What do you think's best combo for this trade? Ford to Simpkin or Terps? Yep. Lemuelu / Teague / Lukey to Ponga. Yeah, we need a half, don't you? Wow, you have 4 wing fullbacks this week. That's tough. Yeah, right. Till out of Penasini, you have 8 trades left. That would work. That would work for sure. That means you have a lot of centers and wing fullbacks, so not super keen, but yeah, that you'll have 12 for round 16, missing a mid. Yeah, that's fine, man. Who to play out of Karaz, Bullard, Garrick, Drinky? Probably miss out on Karaz, to be honest, at this point. Yeah, I think those trades are cool, man. I think if you're done with Wilton or you're done with Lukey, then that's fine. You can trade one of them. If you want to get Ponga in, he'll be your half. Yeah, that's fine. Lock it in. Loving the content. Thank you very much. And good luck. Plenty in the bank. All right, 2 more. Luffy Hip Hop Beats. Superpod Twile has failed me and I'll sell next week as I have a lot out next week. Yeah, a few people were talking about him. It was just an O to me. Potential sell with Tapani as he is just so inconsistent. I would sell Twiley next week and I would keep Taps most likely. Probably, you know, it's up to you. If you feel like you've got enough mids, then Tap could be a Gornskis, but you know, you have Twile, Fainu in there. I don't think you have enough mids to be able to sell him. So, you know, maybe again, Twile, you hold Taps, you sell Twile next week and get a better mid. So you don't have to play Fainu each week. That would be my potential call. First time swimming with team. Thank you. That's why I grabbed this one out. 500k in the bank. I went a shocker last week. It's probably because you have so much money in the bank. I suppose I have 300 and something, so that's fair enough. A lot of great buys such as Hopgood, Ponga not available as I'm in a league where there's no overall overlap between teams, similar to draft, but overall. Okay. There you go. Have the money in the bank, but no clear mids to slot in. Should I conserve trades or I'm going to have too many too late? I think you hold off on the mids next week. You've got more than me. Last week brought in Simpkin and Bateman. How did you pick the Simpkin one? How? Appy wasn't injured. Whatever. That's called lucky. Interesting Garlic for a cash out around 16 mid as he's like to play. Yeah, he'll score well, but I don't think you want to bother trying to get 13. If I'm honest here, Totola to Madison would be fine. Would get you an extra guy for sure. You do have 500k in the bank though. Totola and Lukey, Madison 800k player. Lukey, however, a hold with Preston and Bateman out next week. I think that's the better option there. And I would probably hold off on any trades this week, to be honest. I think Totola's got some money to be made. He'll play 19 as well. You know, 17, 18, 19, which is good. That's where I'd be at here. And last one. I feel like I'm in a good spot right now. I have 4 missing next week. We'll probably move on from Oluwapu. It's an interesting one there. I think, you know, if he scores well this week, he has so much money to make. So if he gets another 50, he'll go big this week coming. And then, you know, plenty of money to make from there. Future trades, Oluwapu to Ponga. Sure. Moses to Hines. Ponga has a buy in round 19. Just remember that. Moses to Hines. Liera to Bateman in 18. Nice. I like that. That's some good thoughts for sure. Rank 856, dropped from top 500. Damn. 10 trades, 384 in the bank. That's awesome. Guys like Robson, you can look at, obviously. You have, what, you need a half this week to join in. So, Hines would be fun if you could do that. Plenty of cash in the bank. Robson, Hines. Probably what I'd be doing, to be fair. Robson, Hines. Yeah. You obviously have a bunch out next week, but you can make one of those trades, as you said. I'd rather you play with 16. Rather you get Hines this week and get potentially an extra 80 points or something like that, and then make the extra trade next week with 10 available. That's what I would do. Hope you enjoyed that one, guys. We'll get the quick trades video out. There's not a lot to talk about in that in the next one. And wish you all the best of luck this week.